I spoke with Pamela Garfield-Jaeger, a licensed clinical social worker from California who now lives on the East Coast. Pamela is the author of A Practical Response to Gender Distress, Tips and Tools for Families, and she explained what she's routinely seen in her interactions with detransitioners.
It's interesting to even just watch people who I met like a year or two ago and where they are today, and many of them are in a much better place because they've learned to deprogram the things that they believed in. Even when they detrans, they hadn't fully gotten there. So to recognize that things are a lie, probably what is the biggest hurdle? I'd say the guilt, the self-loathing, I think, that they have to overcome. There's layers to that because there's the self-loathing they had to begin with to decide that they wanted to become a completely different person, to run away from whatever pain they had that led them to be trans, whatever vulnerability they had. And then there's the extra layers of now they've either done stuff to their bodies and then also just the pain that they have caused to people in their life, their family, their loved ones, their friends that they have left or abandoned, maybe temporarily, because a lot of them are able to repair those relationships, but there's usually some damage there. So working through repairing relationships and dealing with that guilt that you've run away from or abandoned your family that really did love you, that's a tough pill to swallow. So those are things to work through.
Pamela, what would you tell therapists who, like you, want to help this emerging group of people known as detransitioners?
There are, I guess, unique things around this topic because usually when someone makes bad decisions, the entire world and all our institutions aren't usually egging it on. So that's really hard to deal with where you're seeing someone who's done something that's harmful to them, but it's not really just them. It's all of the doctors and all the experts and all the people that they trusted, encourage them, maybe even coerce them to make these choices. So that's just a lot of things to acknowledge when you're in a session with somebody. I also believe that therapy isn't always the answer for people. So I really believe a lot in empowerment. I've been watching detransitioners who've quite frankly been burned by therapists who were ideologically captured. So it's hard for them to trust therapists. And in some circumstances, I worried about them because they weren't able to get that help. But then at the same time, I watched them find help other ways, and they're thriving now because they have found their way in all different ways. Some of them have found religion. Some of them have found new friends. Some of them have just gotten in touch with themselves and have let go of that anger that is so pervasive, because why wouldn't you be angry if everybody you trusted, they said that you're amazing and you're your true self and you're going to be amazing, that now says that they're throwing death threats at you? That's hard to manage. And I honestly can't even fathom that. But the point is that I think a good therapist just knows what to do because they're a good therapist.
And sometimes it's as simple as being a listening ear.